football day in America. Oh, yeah, it's Keg over there, Kush over here. We're going to talk about the Monday night football game from betting side, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened week 2 in the NFL. It was good to be a dog. We'll just say that, Keg. How are you feeling, buddy? Because last night you just put so many hours in, it looked like you were comatose, but you feeling a little better today, my friend?
Yeah, I slept good last night,
Good.
and I crushed yesterday. So I had a good night, man. But I was in bed last night and I turned over and I heard like a loud pop in my back, and
Yeah.
my back is wrecked today. When I tell you wrecked, Kush, it took me like 25 minutes to get to the bathroom this morning.
Oh, how was sitting on the hopper, too? That can't feel good. You don't get the
It,
same support.
I got the cane out today.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
yeah, that's where we're at, dude.
Hey,
My back is fucking killing me
I
today.
want to see the cane sometime. Maybe you can break the cane out on our live
Yeah,
show
I'll get
tonight.
it. I'll get it tonight. You'll see it for sure.
Yeah. We'll be live right at kickoff. Actually, Keg will be hanging out for the first 20 minutes or so, and then I'll stop by and it'll be a good time. So I'm excited about tonight's show, 8:15 Eastern time. The live shows have been crushing, especially on the island games. So Keg gives out in the game, like we hit what? 90 plus yards at plus 210. Then we get over 94.5 at minus 14.
Yeah.
Then we go in again at 125 yards at plus 200. It was just a wonderful evening to be a live bettor, Keg. And you know what, man? I'm starting to think we put everything behind the paywall except for Thursday night. That's what I'm thinking. We'll have that conversation after the show, but we're giving away too much free stuff, too much money we're giving away.
I think that I made 15 live bets yesterday, and I think I went 12-3 or 13-2. Yeah. The problem yesterday was the pregame action, just like with the Niners not being able to get over the hump. With dude, once we get into the games in Detroit, like some of the stats in that game, the fact that that game did not go over the team total is astounding.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, we absolutely fucking murked the live market yesterday. It wasn't even close.
I know you're hurting because you're dropping F-bombs left and right. So
yeah, sorry.
No. You don't have to apologize. This is for adults only anyways, but my goodness, my poor guy over here is hurting. What other games do you think stood out to you? So we'll talk about the Detroit game. I've got so many notes on what happened yesterday. Like Bryce Young has now been benched. Pacheco is out for 6 to 8 weeks. You got some really bad teams. Trevor Lawrence has just pooped the bed. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, where do you want to start?
Well, we're going to start with tonight's game. How about that? We'll go preview tonight's game, and then we're going to recap everything. So let me tell everybody what's going on. We got Philadelphia at Atlanta at Philadelphia. So Falcons at the Eagles. This was a 6.5-point line. The Eagles 6.5-point favorites. It moved down to 5.5. AJ Brown really moved this line by a point, and the total went from 47 to 46. Is this true, Keg, or is there something else at work here? Because right after Brown got ruled out, both dropped the point.
Yeah, but he's not worth a true point to the line. I don't think he's probably worth a half point, maybe slightly more than that, but not a full point. Only people like McCaffrey that have an insane reach and impact on the game are worth a full point. But AJ Brown, you were talking about it last night. I mean, he's a top 10 wideout in this league, no doubt. So I mean, he's going to be missed, but the other guys will pick up the slack tonight.
So here's the other thing too. So Bet Rivers, I got my guy to send me some things about this. 83% of the money, 84% of the tickets are on the Eagles. What could go wrong after this weekend? The books want the Falcons. That's it. The book said they want the Falcons. Now I'm starting to think maybe the Falcons cover this thing.
There wasn't like one team laying wood that I think won the game outright. Like Baltimore goes down as a 8.5-point favorite. San Fran goes down. Detroit loses the game outright.
Dallas.
Dallas, a touchdown favorite. Can't get out of their own way, loses by 25. I mean, is no team going to cover this week?
Well, Hopefully the Eagles win because we've got money line bets on that. So let's hold our breath and hope that the trend stops on Monday Night Football. 58% of the money, 71% of the tickets are on the over. And then the money line, which is unbettable. What is it, like -2 something? 96
Yeah.
money, 94% of the tickets are on the Eagles. So everybody's on the Eagles. If I'm a sports book right now, I'm like salivating because I'm thinking the Falcons are going to pull this one out. Most
Well,
yeah, what's
sorry.
that, Cat?
I was just going to say, Phillies, they look tremendous against Green Bay, and Atlanta looked awful against Pittsburgh. That offensive line, which was supposed to be a top 3 offensive line, could not do anything against Pittsburgh. Kirk Cousins doesn't look fully healthy yet. He looked very uneasy in the pocket, not as mobile as we have seen him in the past. And Philly's got a really good defense too, man. They're strong, and they're going to be in the backfield a lot. So this line makes sense to me at 5.5. While you're talking, I'll check the PR to see what we have.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that's going on that we need to follow in this game money wise. Most wagered on player prop. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown, -200. Bijan, -139, second most bet prop. And then Ray McLeod over 2.5 receptions, -152 is also popular. Most popular player props by largest percent of total game tickets. Saquon 9%, Bijan 3%. So there's also a +250. Saquon at least 2 rushing touchdowns at +250. So that's a really popular one as well. So
We threw that in a little same game parlay flyer, him to get 2 touchdowns. We have the line at 7. So, I mean, I think there's value on Philly, and I think that they are the side tonight.
Well, again, anytime I think one way, you say the other way, and I got to follow you because I mean you're just crushing. There's no question about it. So AJ Brown's out. Kirk Cousins, he had one game to knock off the rust. He didn't play in the postseason. If you're a Falcons fan, you got to pray that Cousins, after the week, is feeling good. Maybe he's a little bit more mobile. But let's break this one down here. Saquon, very popular in the props market. The Eagles taking all the money. Sprinkling some Ray McLeod and some Bijan Robinson. How are you looking? Let's start with the side in this game. Again, your power rankings have them at 7. What's the discrepancy here?
Yeah, I think that the Eagles are the side. Like, am I going to bet them at 5.5? Probably not. I would like to be able to get a discount. Maybe we can get a 3 live if Atlanta can get on the board early. But yeah, Philly feels like the side, and I kind of like I lean over too, to be honest, but not enough to bet it. In terms of props, who's going to pick up the slack for AJ Brown? I think it's going to be Dallas Goedert. It's going to be Smith. Saquon, people were asking us in Discord, what do I think about Saquon receiving props? I don't mind them, but I just feel like if they're going to people tonight, it's going to be Goddard gets a bump, Smith gets a bump. I think Dotson's going to get some targets tonight. And I think Saquon's going to run a lot. And that kid is talented enough to be a McCaffrey level guy out of the backfield with a legitimate offensive line. I mean, he looked phenomenal against Green Bay. And when you consider how bad the Atlanta Falcons defense was projected coming into the year, I think that Philly's going to have a day offensively tonight. I think they're going to get whatever they want, even with AJ Brown not being in the game. So yeah, I feel like targeting these guys that I mean, you're looking at average production for AJ Brown, probably somewhere around 80 yards, probably somewhere around 7, 8 targets. Somebody's making that up tonight. So I would target the people around AJ Brown. Falcons wise, Bijan receiving props, I like a lot because I think Kirk is going to be pressured tonight, uneasy in the pocket. Did not look good in week 1 in the pocket. I think he's going to be looking to get that ball out a lot. And I think Bijan, who had 5 targets last week, he caught every ball. He was on the field for 90% of snaps last week. I just don't know how he doesn't go over that number tonight.
And it's not an official bet yet.
I have not pulled the trigger yet, but I'm going to. I'm going to probably bet Bijan. Yeah.
So his line here on FanDuel is 30.5 receiving yards, 31.5, 32.5 everywhere else. Bet Rivers actually has a better number, 30.5 minus 10. So that's the first thing. The second thing with him, do you like the receiving yards or the receptions more? Because he was second on the team in targets with 5. And if you think that the Falcons are playing catch up, Keg,
I do.
so you like the receptions more than the yards?
You know what? I always lean towards the yards because at 4.5 receptions and a line of like, let's say the line's 30, he can get 30 on the first catch he makes.
Yeah.
So I always lean towards going for the yards and not the receptions, but I don't mind either tonight. I think he's going to be involved in the offense a lot. So I'll probably go the yards, Kush, probably over his number and maybe like one alt, but like, and then that's it because I've bet a lot in this game, but there's a lot I like. So what am I going to do?
Dude, I'm going to need to take out a loan for a mortgage here. Take a second loan out on my mortgage if this doesn't work out.
Hey man, listen, if you did, this is a note to everybody that not even just the members, people that tail us that aren't members that watch the show. If I'm firing and I'm crushing, but you guys are not having the best day, then always manage your bankroll according to you. Don't worry. So you miss one play. If it's a winner or a loser, whatever. But don't get overexposed. I'm firing tonight. Why? Because I made $17,000 yesterday. That's why I'm firing. So I'm going for it. And I like this game. So, if you guys made a couple of units, be easy.
What's the better number on Bijan? 29.5 minus 21 or 30.5 minus 10?
Probably 30.5 minus 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to throw a half unit on each and then wait for you to make it an official play. If it is an official play, we're not giving out another play. So we'll wait on that, Keg. I don't know what's holding you back from betting it, but we'll wait on it. And
it's just because I've been busy today, really. But we're betting it. We're on Bijan receiving.
Okay. All right. Very good. Quarter unit at 29.5, 3/4 unit at 30.5, and that's going to be your bet. Now, if you want the rest of the bets, Keg, you talk about firing. I'm serious. There are so many pre-flop bets from Keg in this one. I have thrown a unit down on all of them, but you got to be a member to get it, to see our spreadsheet. So make sure you go to nukethehouse.com. Free week trial. Free week. nukethehouse.com. Sign up for a monthly plan. We won't charge you. All you got to do is type in the code NUKENFL, NUKENFL, and you'll get a free week. So test this out, dip the toe in there, and we'll see if we can get you for a monthly plan or an annual plan after that. The other thing is real-time live betting notifications right to your phone. So if you're not watching tonight's game or you're busy, keep your phone on, and we send you the bets that Kegs makes right to your phone. So you don't even got to watch the game. If you want to get the best line, watch us tonight, 8:15. Yeg. There's no way Yeg is betting everything you got, but woof. Tonight we will be firing live betting as well, correct? Because I might want to throw two. Well, you got to stay at 1 unit, but boy, you just been on fire in games. Game has just been crushing. I have faith in you in the pre-flop, though, Keg. I'm going back to the well.
God, dude, it's been rough. I mean, yesterday, it was rough. But like, I don't know. Normally, historically, I take it easy the first couple weeks, but the market is at its most inefficient in the beginning of the year. So you got to fire if you feel it. Now, did it go our way on the pregame bets yesterday? It did not. I don't think I hit one. I might have went like 0-6.
You did. And then you went like 601.
Then we went like 15-3 live, and it was okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Listen, would I be able to make a living betting on sports if I couldn't bet live? Probably not. I have my biggest edge is betting live, 1,000,000%. But we were on the bad end of some variance yesterday. Case in point, we're on the Detroit team total yesterday over 23.5 holding. Okay. Yeah. the Lions offense, did they look great? Well, they had 7 drives in the red zone, 1st and 10, and they scored 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown. 7 times. Goff threw the ball 60 times, almost 60 times. They had 250 yards more offense than Tampa, and we don't get 23 and a half. Like, there's just, what are you going to do about that? There's nothing you could do.
So real quick, back to this Atlanta Philly game. Snap count, wide receivers for Atlanta. Ray McLeod, 54% of the snaps. Darnell Mooney, 95% of the snaps. Drake London played every snap. But the target percentage is the interesting one. Ray got 23% of the targets on just about half the snaps in the game. And then Mooney and Drake London really didn't see anything. Can't you see these two guys getting more involved tonight and Ray kind of taking a back seat?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you're saying here. But I think that there's better spots on the board.
All right. We are heavily invested tonight in this game.
Yeg said that I would be serving him coffee if live betting didn't exist. Hey, man, but I'm not. Okay. Yeah. And I've made you a shit ton of money. So just sit there, get your piece of paper and pencil out, and let's fucking go.
We don't do much on the defensive side of the ball. Thoughts on Bryce Huff from Jeff Stenberg over a sack? All right. I mean, it's not something I've looked into. Have you really looked into sack props? Only guy I know that does that is a guy at 4for4, Ryan Noonan. There's literally nobody else I know that does sack props.
Sack props, yeah. I don't target defense. Johnny does sometimes. Johnny bets sack props, and he hits at a decent clip, actually.
Johnny, post a sack prop.
Yeah, Johnny does well with those, but I don't know. I'm always offensive minded. I don't bet a lot of defensive props.
All right, there is a Dallas Goedert bet for subscribers and subscribers only, so I want to let you know that. And then somebody had a question about Dotson getting run. Again, I'm a little concerned because he got there right before the Brazil game, and now he's coming back. I guess he's had about 10 days. Is it about 10 days to practice with them?
That's the concern, which is why I didn't go towards Dotson tonight. What's he only been with the team less than a month right now? I don't know how involved he will be. So I stayed away from Dotson and I targeted the other guys.
I don't see Keg as a barista. He looks more like a carny.
I'm a carny, dude. That's hurtful.
That's what Jeff said. I'm just throwing it out there. That's what Jeff said.
Jeff, dude.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's brutal. The F-bomb count is up to 13 from Keg. Last night I quit at 91 hiccups on the show. I would just want to let you know. 91 hiccups. I just couldn't get it out of there. But
I set the line at like 60.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. But then again, I learned last night you're doing a 3-point contest, and I put a couple units down on you not to succeed.
I can't wait to take your money. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you a ringer? What is going on here? Did you play high school basketball?
Yeah, you're done for. You're gonna be paying me out.
By the way,
and we're hanging that money right there.
Here's the bet. The bet is Keg is taking 25 shots from an NBA 3-point line outdoors. I don't know how you're going to do the NBA 3-point line because there's no outdoor place that probably has that. But I took under 5.5, and then I took under 2.5 at plus 500 and under 5.5. What'd you give me? -10 on that one. So
this reel is going to be so good, man.
How are you hitting 6 3-pointers outside?
Listen, I said what I said.
You can't even stand without a cane.
Today I can't. You're right. If the 3-point contest was today, you're getting paid out. Okay, but it's not today. It's not. All right.
How long do I have until you're doing this?
We're doing it probably in November, whenever UFC 309 is. What's that date?
It's going to be cold, right? It'll probably be cold, a little bit windy.
November 16th.
Okay, and I want to make sure that you sit for at least 12 hours the night before. Is that what day is that of the week? Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
So you're probably not even going to be sitting that much the day before, unfortunately. All right. Well, I'll figure out some way to mess your back up.
Hey, I want to get paid out in rolls of quarters too.
Well, how are you going to hang my dollar bills up there?
I'll figure it out. I've decided I want to get paid in rolls of
Well,
quarters.
too bad. I don't want the shipping costs on a roll of quarters. All right. I'd rather shipping be on 2 little pieces of paper than $100 each on quarters. But again, I cannot see. You
How
want to play 45 free throws in a row?
No, 27.
27 is a lot farther. Free throws are a lot closer than 3-pointers, but okay. True. All right. Listen, if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win.
What about the Baltimore Ravens being 0-2 to start the year? What's your thoughts on that?
All right, Keg's ready to move on. Like button would be great. Let's talk about the Ravens here. Yes, they are 0-2. They dropped a 10-point lead to the Ravens to the Raiders with 12 minutes left. Devontae Adams went bananas, 9 for 110 and a touchdown. Gardner Minshew. Again, we've seen this in little spurts, Keg. This guy can carry a team. He hasn't been able to do it for a full year, but this is more about the Ravens to me in their next 3 games: Dallas at home, Buffalo, and at Cincinnati. So it's possible they start the season out 1-4, Keg.
I thought that the Raiders were Gardner Minshew was a big upgrade from Aiden O'Connell for sure, but I was very surprised that the Raiders were able to fight back in a game that they were down 23-13. They come back, they score 13 unanswered, they get the win. Very surprising to me. But this Ravens defense is not the defense from a year ago. The scheme is not the same. They miss Mike McDonald tremendously right now, because if McDonald was still the coordinator, there is a 0% chance that happens yesterday and they come back and win that game. They made Minshew look flawless in the second half, and they did it without being able to run the football, which is even more surprising to me. So a huge win for the Raiders on the road. Now the Ravens sit 0-2, which was not really on my bingo card to start the year, but here we are.
Okay, let's move on to our next team here. The Panthers have benched Bryce Young. So again, I guess they've seen enough. I know Canales, the word will be from the Panthers, we're not giving up on this guy, but they're giving up on this guy. They completely botched this pick. And listen, a lot of people said he was going to be a great quarterback, but ultimately they're the ones that pulled the trigger. Brutal.
Hey. If you own the Carolina Panthers, right? Are you on suicide watch that you could have drafted Stroud?
No, because I think the Red Rocket's going to carry us to a Super Bowl now.
I think that you are an idiot. What did you just say?
The Red Rocket. If I'm the owner of the Panthers, I'm thinking the Red Rocket is taking me to a Super Bowl.
Andy Dalton off the bench at 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah, he's old.
The game passes you by quickly.
Not Joe Flacco.
True. Fair. But Andy Dalton is not Joe Flacco.
No Joe Flacco.
I listen, when you run the ball 45 times and you throw the ball 20 times and there's absolutely nothing that you can do to stop them, it's a joke. We're talking 400 rushing yards allowed through 2 weeks. That is beyond horrendous. Panthers offense is as bad as I've seen in quite some time. So, obviously Bryce Young, not a pro level QB. They went 1 for 12 on third down yesterday. They are now 2 for 24, I think, on third down this year. I mean, holy Christ. So Andy Dalton's going to come in and be the answer?
No.
Okay.
But I think if you're a bettor and a fantasy player, I think Deontay Johnson actually has some value again. Because now at least the quarterback you would think can hit a wide receiver. Bryce Young it's bad, man. He's worse than Zach Wilson, believe it or not. Can you imagine if that kid played in New York?
I can't.
It would be bad. First of all, you got to kill your Discord. Enough with the beeps. You're killing me over here, Keg.
What do you want me to do, man?
Just exit out. Just exit out. Just X out your Discord. So no bloop, bloop.
All right.
Second of all, Pacheco. Let's talk Pacheco. He is out 6
Hey, man. Listen, man. I bet 2 season-long player props this year.
Yeah.
Pacheco over 6.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Kid had 2 already.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
He can still get there.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Jordan Love over 27.5 touchdowns. What happens? Throws like 3 in the first game. Good night. I mean, I can't catch a cold to start the year, and I'm still crushing. So,
well, good job. He can still get there though. This is why you don't bet player props at running back unless they're to the under, because the guys always get hurt. Then you got Kelsey. Check out what's going on with Kelsey. And anybody that wants to complain about Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs getting the flags, it was a penalty yesterday. I get it. The refs missed some, but that's just going to be the narrative with Patrick Mahomes. So Kelsey, 1 catch for 5 yards after a 3 for 34 performance against the Ravens. What is going on with this guy?
Oh,
Mahomes wasn't even good yesterday. He threw 2 picks and almost a third. Burrow had all the time. I was doing some research on how much quarterbacks had in the pocket. He had almost 2.9 seconds to throw. Like, that is ridiculously long time. So the Chiefs did not play well, and they still beat a really good Bengals team.
they didn't play well. Mahomes did not play well, but I'll tell you for sure what's going on with Kelsey.
Uh-huh.
He's now Gronk.
He's old.
We saw it last year, started to regress. It's going to continue. He doesn't have to do much during the regular season. As long as he can give them 4 really good games in the playoffs where he could go and he can go hard and do his thing, I think that's what we're going to see, much like Gronkowski. He took some regular seasons off at the end, and then he showed up in a big way in the playoffs. It happened last year with Kelsey, showed up in a big way finally, and I expect the same thing. Now, what was surprising is KC's defense, which is very good, did not look great yesterday. And Mahomes has a couple of these games every year where he looks human. So I'm not really worried about Patty. But yeah, they gutted it out. They got it done. But you know what, Kush? Another game where KC just can't cover a big number ever.
All right. There is one team that can cover any number right now, and that's the Saints. This is amazing. Starting offense scored on 16 possessions to start the season. 16.
Incredible.
Kamara had his second career 4-touchdown game. They're tied for 6th in NFL history with 91 points through week 2. So I think there's 2 ways to attack this. A, how much are we buying into the Saints? Are we buying into them yet? And second of all, is the Cowboys defense in trouble?
I mean, this offense has looked flawless for 2 weeks. The team is night and day compared to what we saw a year ago. And the result yesterday was shocking. I'm not high on the Cowboys, but I thought that they were the side yesterday, even though we didn't bet them. The Saints defense looked human for sure without Lattimore, but it doesn't matter when you're scoring 45 points a game. They scored on the first 6 drives yesterday. And I mean, Derek Carr looks really, really good the first 2 weeks of the year. Here's the thing. Am I buying them? No. But what I will say is I respect them a lot more than I did in week 1, because this wasn't the Panthers. This was the Cowboys, a legitimate team, and they hung 45 on them. And I thought that Dallas was going to live in that backfield all day long yesterday. They did not. That offensive line looked pretty stout. So, yeah, I mean, are they for real? I don't think so yet. But do we have to start taking them more seriously? Yes.
100%. I'm with you on that. Not really yet, but they passed the first 2 tests. If they're here in week 6, maybe week 8, and they're doing this stuff, then all right, then it's the greatest show on turf part 3 or whatever that you want to call it. Bears Texans last night, again, kept laddering. Nico Collins, you won us a lot of money last night. Bears D is legit. I really believe that. I love their secondary, but they got burned by Nico, and I think Nico is going to be burning a lot of guys. Caleb Williams holds on the ball too long. He missed some open throws. He made some stupid throws. I know Bill Belichick didn't like him in the preseason. I still think there's something there with Williams, but I'm going to go a different way here. I want to talk about the Bears. They can't run the ball. They can't run the football. It was awful by Swift, and I think they're going to have issues going forward unless they can figure out a way to scheme the run, because Swift was getting hit in the backfield time and time again last night.
Yeah, the defense for the Bears looked pretty good. I mean, they couldn't really contain Nico, but outside of Nico, the Bears defense didn't look bad. The only thing that went wrong for us yesterday was 1st and goal at the 1 yard line to get our team total home. And they fumbled the ball. Like we would have swept the board if not for that, which was rough. Caleb Williams looked a lot better than he did in week 1 to me. Did you think so?
He looked better, but again, he just made a lot of mistakes. He's
Sure.
chucking the ball up in traffic. So he looked better. He looked more comfortable, especially on that first drive, Keg. But when it wasn't as scripted as the game went on, still a lot of question marks about this kid.
I don't disagree, but I mean, we're 8 quarters into his pro career.
You're right.
You know, we have to give this kid some time, but man, have the Chicago Bears set him up for success. Incredible secondary, although it didn't look great yesterday. You're right, though. The one thing that you said that makes a ton of sense. In order for Caleb Williams to really be successful, they have to be able to run the football. Because if they're just going to scheme against this kid and not have to worry about the running game, then he's going to have a tough go of it this year. But if they can get that running game going, and by the way, DeAndre Swift is good. I don't understand why they can't get that running game going. And the Bears' offensive line isn't terrible. I mean, is it as elite as the other units on this team? No. But it's not terrible. They should be able to run the football. Once they do that, I think it opens the game up for Caleb Williams, and I think he starts to look better.
I mean, this is 2 straight games that Swift has looked bad, though. So
true.
You love your Swift, but I'm not there yet. I got a couple more things to talk about. Want to remind everybody, hit the like button if you get a chance. If you want to check out our live show tonight, that will be a premium show. Keg and the boys on fire, betting live. Make sure you check that out, 8:15 Eastern time, right here on the Nuke the House YouTube channel. Check us out for a week with the code NUKENFL. Sign up for a monthly plan. We won't charge you. Type in Nuke NFL in the coupon code, and you get that free week. All right, just a couple other things I want to read to you. This came by from Greg Allman, who covers the Buccaneers, but he had a Raiders note here. Brock Bowers, tight end. More receiving yards in his first 2 games than any tight end in NFL history. Past Mike Ditka, Will Dissly, that really didn't work out. Aaron Hernandez, that really didn't work out. And T.J. Hawkinson, who has worked out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Meyer brought it up.
Hold on a second. Promo code not working. NUKE NFL. Make sure you're signing up for a monthly plan. Nuke NFL. If it's not working, get back to us. All right, please, Keg. Sorry.
Yeah, if it's not working, let us know. Try that right now and let us know. What were we talking about?
I derailed you. I was talking about Brock Bowers and
yeah. Adam last night was like, all right, the joke's over. We have to start targeting this kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I wish he was a New York Jet. The kid's a stud. He was so good at Georgia, dude. He made opposing linebackers look like they were clowns.
He has well, let's go look at a guy we targeted week 1 and then should have targeted week 2, Malik Neighbors. Did you know that he had 18 of the 27 targets from Daniel Jones?
Why?
He had 18 of the 27 targets from Daniel Jones. They just funneled him.
Why do you think we were on all the alts last week?
Why do you think we're going to be on the alts next week?
Fucking this week we weren't, though.
That's it. Hey, you can't bet everything, right?
But, I know.
But boy, that was
the kid is a stud, and he's the only weapon that they have, only legitimate weapon that they have. So I mean, he's going to get targeted a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem: when we bet him in week 1, his number was 58.5. We went 50, 70, 80. He got over. We basically broke even. Last week, yesterday, his number was 66.5 at open. So what's his number going to be this week? 75?
Ooh,
like at what point? Like 2 weeks ago, he was 58.5. So like, at what point do we have to pass?
I don't know. If he's going to get 2/3 of the targets, though, I kind of feel like it's going to be tough to pass on him.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hang a bad number and we'll get in early and we can climb it. But
Hey,
he's special.
Ramondre.
Yeah.
Ramondre is my hero.
Yep. He should
Got
be.
it done for us in a big way.
Yeah, he should be, man. He should be. Just two other things I want to discuss. Trevor Lawrence, not good. He's 0-7 in his last 7 starts. He's got 10 touchdowns passing, 7 INTs, and an 82 rating. So I think the Jaguars are in some trouble here, unfortunately, because I like what they put around him. I know Evan Ingram went down with an injury, but Brian Thomas Jr. is our guy. I talked about him in that pregame show. I didn't back it up with a bet, though. But he had a nice game. And then the last one, my hometown Broncos here, what a debacle. Bo Nix might have a future in this league. He looks atrocious right now. The defense can't really do much of anything. I know that Justin Fields and the Steelers offense is not performing very well right now, but then Sean Payton, instead of opting for an onside kick, decides to kick it off, leads his team 18 seconds after a 3-and-out. It's a bad scene here. And if anybody thought the Broncos were going to get better in year 2 under Payton, I'm having a hard time thinking it's going to happen. It's just bad football.
If you dig into the metrics of that Jags game, they had no business losing that game, dude.
They had no business blowing a 10-point lead to the Dolphins in the second half.
No, they should be 2-0. Like, yeah. I don't know what to do with them now, but they had no business losing that game. Who was the other team? The
Broncos. But by the way, the Steelers have scored 1 offensive touchdown this year, and they're 2-0.
Find a better defense right now in pro football than Pittsburgh.
They're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, the only thing. Oh, by the way, the best call you made of the week was in that Jacksonville game. You said Brian Thomas Jr. You identified it. You wanted to hit it. He had 94 yards in that game. So I think that was your best call of the week after Ingram went down.
Sign of bad better, making a great call and not betting it.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. I love that kid, though. He's a stud, man. If Ingram's out, we got to go back to him, depending on the number.
And the other game was who? Oh, Broncos.
Oof.
With a minute left in the game, we lost the lowest scoring team on the slate, which was brutal at 11-1. Mm-hmm. That meaningless field goal at the end was brutal. But here, like Maddie said, the stat what Tomlin was against rookie quarterbacks, like 22-2 or something like that. I mean, you knew that was going to happen. Matt had Pittsburgh on the spreadsheet. It was the perfect call. If he didn't have it, I would have had it up there. They were the side, and that defense is good, man. And it's going to keep them in a lot of games. They're going to be a 9-10 win team
again.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
Probably sneaking it, but their offense has to get going here. Roman Wilson, hopefully Roman Wilson makes his debut. That's the Michigan wide receiver. Hopefully he makes his debut in week 3 because they need somebody to help Pickens. And Pickens, boy, I've never seen Patrick Surtain struggle as much with a wide receiver. To me, Surtain is the best corner in the game, and Pickens just ate him up. That was the worst game that Surtain has had. After we did our show last night, I went back and watched that game. Pickens owned him. They get Wilson back. I have major questions about Justin Fields, but the defense and special teams is going to keep him in every game.
Right. Exactly. I'm with you. As long as they can hang around, Fields or Russ are going to make some plays to win games. They're also going to make some plays to lose games. But I think you can count on Pittsburgh to go at least 9-8 this year because that defense is dumb.
Stupid amazing.
Yeah.
Stupid amazing. No question. All right, Ryan, hope the promo code's working. If it doesn't, hit us up on Twitter at Nuke the House. We'll take care of you. I'm pretty damn sure it is working, though. Again, nukethehouse.com. Sign up for a monthly plan. Type in the code NUKENFL, NUKENFL. We're not going to charge you. You get a free week. Test this out. Now, as we always say, 1 week is not really enough to judge a capper, but we're likable guys. We've got a great Discord, a great community, And over the long haul, Keg's going to win you money again in the NFL. That's all I got to say about it, my friend. So let's give our best bet again. 8:15 Eastern time, live show. Keg will start it off. I'll come back about 20 minutes in, and we'll have a great show tonight. I'm looking forward to winning some more money. But
I am too. I am too, Holden. I think
Yeah.
we're going to make money tonight. I like where we're at in this game.
Yeah, as long as you can crawl to your thing here.
Yeah, as long as I can move.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that. All right, so what's the play? Is it you're going to give out the Bijan?
Yeah, we'll give out Bijan over 30 at -110.
That is at Bet Rivers Sugar House if you want that. All right, guys, that's it. I'll drop a little pod tomorrow. We got the live show tonight, and everything is doing pretty well here at Nuke the House. Keg, throw that graphic up, my friend. It is time for us to get out of here. Bijan over 30.5 receiving yards, -10 at Bet Rivers is the best bet. Let's nuke the house.